Holy cow, they are rich. They are super rich. The sub 1%.
Back at the Mothma estate. What's going on with Tacoma? He's running into financial difficulties.
They just got some rich people problems.
If this was
Just
the
two
Republic, those two people would be Republic officers in Republic uniforms.
They're watching Andor, season 2, episode 2. Tell me what happened.
First off, we start out with Cassian, still with the Forest Gang and their ridiculousness.
He's captured as their prisoner, right?
That's right. Yep.
Captured as their prisoner. Deidre Miro is upset about the Gorman job. She doesn't like having to do this dirty, underhanded stuff.
Yeah, and the Empire is still snooping around the farms looking for illegals.
Mm-hmm. Cyril and Deidre have this really nice apartment. Look at this. So spacious. Incredible.
It's so nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then tensions rise between Mon Mothma and Tacoma because he's running into financial problems.
And at the very end of the episode, Andor leaves this planet. He escaped.
Yep.
What'd you think about the episode?
I give the episode a 8 out of 10. I think this is another good episode of Star Wars. I felt like it was Star Wars again. Great acting, great production values. I think the Forest Gang, these bumbling rebel young guys, kind of still pretty weird.
Yep.
But I still feel the tension within Cassian. He's like, I got to get out of here. I should be willing to kill to get out of here because I've got this big piece of intelligence. I feel the tension. The tension between Mon Mothma, Tacoma, Luthen. I don't know. I feel that as well. Like they're trying to navigate this rich world and like be part of the rebellion. It's financial trouble. People getting pulled in different directions. I felt the tension.
Mm-hmm.
And the farm story about legal immigration is a bit forced, in my opinion. I don't really like it. But a lot of the aspects that we see feel like Star Wars, like the farms and what they wear. So overall, for me, 8 out of 10. What do you think?
I give this episode 6 out of 10. And again, that's like better than average. Good. Good. 6 out of 10. So the pros about this is that Andor does a good job of making the Empire look evil, but also human. It's not just cartoonish, like Empire's bad. Like there are good actors or people that are doing the best they can, what they think is right, but it just happens to be on the side of the Empire. Also, it's not like the Empire's evil and aren't taking care of their employees. Like it looks like a pretty good place. Additionally, the rebellion are the 1% oligarchs, right? They're like the super rich people that could equally have been playing both sides. The rebellion isn't just the morally just underdogs. There's also some potentially bad people. So I like this contrast. I like this nuance where the bad people are also good and the good people are also bad. And also a pro here is that Cassian outsmarts the rebels. Feels great. It feels great that they got these bumbling idiots. I mean, they're not 100% idiots, but Cassian clearly outclasses them. Felt great. Now, cons of the episode is that I don't understand why we needed to get Cassian captured. He gets captured by these rebel guys, but then he also escapes. So do we just spend 2 episodes with kind of filler? Like, what was the point of this? Maybe there's tension. There's tension and with Luthen Real, and he's like, where's our test pilot? Where's our guy? And he's missing. So there's some tension there, and then there's also tension with Bix because she's like, where's Cassian? He should be here by now. But other than that, I don't understand why we had those forced guys. I don't get it. The illegal immigration also feels forced. Hopefully it ages well. It always is iffy when sci-fi shows bring in current politics. I get it. It's like a very emotional topic right now, but hopefully we don't watch it in 5-10 years and be like, oh my gosh, it was cringy of whatever the time was now. Yes. And the accidental thing here is we talk about like visas and effectively ICE agents, but they're hunting down the rebels. Isn't this an argument in favor of this? Like I thought we're supposed to be against ICE. Strange. I don't know. Strange mixed messaging. But maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point that this Andor has lots of you're not really sure what's right and wrong, which is also an interesting sci-fi angle. Overall, 6 out of 10, and that farm life look pretty appealing. Like I can see why the big cities are not so interesting, and that farm life looked pretty nice.
Agreed. Live on a farm in the outskirts in Star Wars? Hell yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah, it's like the calm, quiet life. Like, not easy, definitely not easy, but also not swimming around in like Coruscant. Like, ugh, what a pain.
Yeah.
Speaking of Coruscant, I think this is Coruscant. This is where the Empire. This is an Empire planet, I guess, right? And look at these uniforms. Looks great.
Yeah, I think this is Coruscant, and then I think this is Intelligence HQ. They're looking great.
Oh yeah, there it is. Looking great. And so why is this an interesting thing to say? It's not like the Empire is just evil and bad. Like fashion's on point one, and two, it looks like a functioning society. It looks like a pretty well built society.
Yeah, not only like the clothing they have is super nice. Got the leather. I don't know what you call them. Handbags.
Briefcase?
That's wrong.
Yeah,
Briefcase.
Handbags. Yeah.
Nice boots, nice jackets, looking great, looking sharp. The buildings look sharp. They look well built. They look reflective and clean.
The floor is wet because it rained, but it's clean. It's not like trash around. Not like hobos and stuff. Not you don't got to busk. You don't have to go between buskers on your way to work. Very nice.
Yeah.
And honestly, this looks like how people dress nicely in Europe. I mean, maybe not current fashion trends, but I go to work in like sneakers and some like a yoga pants and like a hoodie, and people I can see how they're looking at me. Like, class it up, dude. So if we're seeing this around, it looks like people dressing nice.
Yeah, it's like the center of civilization. Why are we rebelling against this again?
Seems like a well-organized, clean society. They have, and it's not like, wear your brown burlap bag. It's like, wear your fashion stuff.
Oh yeah, got
very good.
Disposable income to spare to have all these nice things.
It's not like prison serial numbers. Like, no. Here we are at the Mon Mothma estate, and holy cow, they are rich. They are super rich. The sub 1%.
I will make it lovely and gently there.
Look at this place.
They're sneaking in skull and surprise.
Is it really a shandy, Mal?
It's probably worth more than the house.
You'll want to put that in your speech.
Holy cow. I mean, so we have this impression that the rebels are like the underdogs, and they're poor, and they're like fighting up against the rich people, the people that are running society. But it's these people, right? I mean, Luthen, I'm not sure if he started poor, but he's got money now, right?
Yep.
And then Mon Mothma, like, this is her place. Like, this is all her place.
You're saying Mon Mothma, part of the Mothma family or dynasty, whatever you want to say, is a super wealthy person, and she is a critical leader of the rebellion, if not like the leader of the rebellion. So the rebellion isn't this like groundswell against the Empire from below. It's wealthy people like Mon Mothma are upset at the Empire, and they're rebelling and getting people under them to do the dirty work.
Right.
It's not the image of the Empire or image of the rebellion we had
in episode 4 of the original movies, right? Yeah. It was the groundswell rebellion of the underclass being picked on by the Empire. So we rise up and fight against the oppressors. But this person is one of the lucky people that succeeded in society through her family. I don't know, maybe it's her business dealings, but I think it was her family for however many generations were rich. So these are one of like the winners in society who are doing well in the Old Republic and then also in the Empire. And if they have some political misgivings, some political plays, they're pulling the low-level people to be their weapons.
So
that doesn't feel good.
Doesn't feel good. The impression I get is that Mon Mothma is like, she sees the Empire doing evil things, and therefore she must be part of the rebellion, even though that's going to, ruin her financial situation. But is that true? Because it's not like the Republic before this was some bastion of moral behavior. There were problems. There was slavery.
Their own problems. Yep.
She didn't rebel against the
Anakin
Republic.
was a slave.
He was a slave. There was problems everywhere. So why wasn't she rebelling before? I don't get it.
Was there some status quo change where she's quite powerful in the old Republic, or not the old Republic, in the former Republic, and then now that the Empire's in charge, there's a new power battle, a new power dynamic, and while most rich people are like, whatever, I'm still rich, I don't care. Like Mon Mothma's like, I don't like that. I don't like having an empire, an emperor. I want to be higher up to the front.
Yeah, it would change the tone of the rebellion completely.
Right.
Bunch of wealthy people, they go from like super powerful and super wealthy to less super powerful and super wealthy on the transition.
Just less, a little bit.
And they're like, I don't like it. I'm going to rebel.
Rebellion. And then Luke shows up. Luke shows up like 20 years from now when he's finally old enough to fight. And then they're like, oh yes, this is our savior boy. He's a poor guy. He's a moisture farmer and he's got force powers. We should follow him. But like, Luke, did you know that you were fighting for the rich people? Did you know this?
That's right. He's like the poster boy.
Right.
That is the salt of the earth, down to earth guy who represents the rebellion. Common man.
Yep.
But Mon Mothma's there with her pulling the strings,
setting things up for him.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But maybe,
like
right? You see it?
But maybe, yeah.
Down on the planet, so they're fighting the Forest Boys. I don't know their name. Forest Boys were fighting over Cassian for food, and they eat this fruit. They eat this fruit, and they're questionable whether it's safe. My question to you is there a smart way to eat this so that you don't get poisoned?
How can it smell that bad that fast?
Looks bad. Okay, first question is this bad food? Like, is it going to make you sick?
So I'm assuming they pulled it straight off a tree, and so it's not rotten on the floor, on the ground of the forest. True. It looks rotten because it's soft. So that's kind of, I wouldn't like that.
Right. Yeah, but I guess. Yeah, I had that same feeling. Like mushy fruit feels bad. Like I think fruit is usually firm or a little bit soft, but mushy is like it's broken down.
Right. But this is an alien planet. Not sure. Seems filled with moisture. It smells bad. That's another bad sign.
Smells bad. Okay, let's finish watching it.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Eat it.
I dare you. Give it. If it tastes like it smells, I don't know.
Gross. Okay, so this guy says if it tastes like it smells, then no good. And I think that's generally true. Like a smell test is a good indicator if something has gone bad, because I think it's like the bacteria or the microorganisms, when they metabolize stuff, they make things that smell bad. Okay, that being said, durian is like famously a fruit that smells bad, but that's just how it is.
Right, but it smells bad but tastes good, and also
tastes good, is ripe, no problem.
So here though, gosh, they want to eat. They're starving. Like how close are they to starving here? Has it been days? Has it been weeks?
I think it's been a couple
pretty
days.
Healthy.
I think if I remember, it's 3 days without water, you're in trouble, and about 2 weeks, depending on bodily activity, without food, you're in trouble. So they might be okay actually in terms of food.
They probably have some runway in terms of
leeway.
Like they can go a few more days. Then that's not going to be pleasant, but they have several days to work with to determine
before
if
they
this
start
fruit
risking mystery fruit.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Star Wars universe on this planet, which I think is Yavin 4. But this is also true if you're, I don't know, hiking in the Amazon or something, or if you're out somewhere in some other in a land that you're not accustomed to. So there's new fruit, new vegetables that you're not used to.
Yeah.
My question is, how do you need to eat something?
Yep.
How do you do it in the most intelligent way possible to minimize your risk?
So we're saying they have some runway, so they have 3-4 days to work with. Okay. So they don't have to eat it right now.
Agreed.
They're not starving.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna be
that
hungry,
means that they could
you're not dead.
So they can do some testing.
Okay.
Does that mean?
How would you test?
My very, very first thought is take a nibble and wait a day.
I wouldn't even do that. I would put it on the back of my wrist, a little smear, see if I get an allergic reaction.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're saying do stuff on the outside first. Maybe
do outside stuff.
Put it on your skin. What about different people? You have different people. One person's on the outside of the skin. One person chews it and spits it out.
That's a good point. So okay. What would I do? So I would outside on the back of the hand, because if I do it on the inside of the hand, like if I still need to manipulate stuff, now that's a problem, right? So outside on the back of the hand, and then I would do the tip of the tongue, little tip of the tongue, just a little taste test, and then you can spit it out pretty quickly. The next thing I would do is maybe smear it on the gum, because that's like the next level of in my mouth. And then what you said, like go ahead and chew a little bit, but don't swallow, spit it out. See if you get another reaction.
So you're thinking on day 1, take 3 people, 1 person back of the hand, 1 person on gums, 1 person tip of the tongue, wait a day.
Yeah.
If nothing happens, then take a nibble.
Take a
wait
nibble.
another day.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 people, no, 1 person takes a nibble.
Yeah. Depending on the number of people you have, I don't know if I would want to risk several people at the same time. Because if it turns out to be really bad for you, I really want to minimize that to the 1 person that tried it, the short straw person, right?
Yeah. So maybe 1 person takes a small nibble. You wait a day. If it passes, then you have maybe half the group take a nibble, wait another day. If it passes, then everybody take a big fatty bite. Or no, the other half take a big fatty bite.
1 person. Yeah, sure. See if you get an upset tummy.
See if you can handle it.
Das shits. Yep.
Then if you pass, then everybody can eat. Is that right?
I guess. Yeah, right. And there are going to be long-term poison effects. Like say if there's mercury in these things, you're not going to know you get mercury poisoning for 20, 30 years. Like you can't do anything about that. But I guess it's if we want to see if there's violent reactions that are going to kill you real fast.
What if somebody takes a big chunk and everybody gets a stomachache? They have some uncomfortable poo-poo.
Poo-poo?
But generally, they survived. Everything's good. And this is the only game in town food-wise. Everybody's like, okay, we're doing this.
Guess we're doing
bad
it, right?
poo-poo time. Guess you got to eat it, right?
And just offset it with enough water so that way you don't die of dehydration, I guess.
Yeah.
And
So
get out of there as soon as you can. But like
as soon as you can.
You gotta do.
So I don't know the nuance on that, because if I have some food and I have bad poo-poo, then is that going to hurt me more than not eating?
That's an interesting point. Okay, so I
don't know where the crossover is. Yeah.
I address the dehydration. Drink more water, provided you can get clean water. Don't drink make yourself worse by drinking bad water. The other part of having diarrhea is you lose like nutrition, right? You're not absorbing stuff. I don't know how much you are just losing from your body.
Right.
Like,
so if it's like
worse.
So if it's like extremely liquidy diarrhea, then probably don't eat it. But if it's like, gosh, chunky but
go ahead and describe it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's like it's liquidy, but it's more liquidy than you want. But it's got like chunks in there, and so like
we're talking
some
about like
absorption
the 2x8 Legos. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, maybe with some like nasty stuff in between. Because then maybe that's showing like, okay, my body is absorbing some. This is unpleasant, but I'm okay. If I have water to offset, I might
better than nothing.
I mean, as a survivalist, if you're I'm not a survivalist. I'm
but
saying
you're a survivalist now?
If I was a survivalist, like I wanted to, if I had a poop, I would want to look at it and be like, I'm in trouble. Versus
it is good. Yep, it is good data. Yep,
it's not pleasant to talk about, but like
it's not pleasant to talk about, but we're talking about survival. like I need the data. I need to figure out what's happening here. If I'm like, I refuse to figure out, figure it out.
Maybe after, they have all done their tests, they come together in a poop council and be like, okay, how's everybody doing? What kind of, where are you on this? Where are you on the 1 to 7 scale? Describe it to me. Take a pick. Let's compare picks.
That's right.
I mean, survival.
That's right. It's right. We're survival. And it's for the good of the community. You need to know how this is affecting the human bodies. Do it. Get it done. Take the pics.
Are there any other
banana
body
for scale?
functions? Yeah, I mean, we're making
Don't
fun
need
of
the
it 'cause
banana
it's
because we need
gross,
it for scale. Oh, but it's right. It's right.
Yeah, what other bodily functions like sweating, like rashes and different things on the skin probably want to pay attention to?
Yeah, and piss, right? If you start pissing out blood, it's like, oh, we should stop eating that.
We should stop eating that, yeah.
Right. And it's like, oh no,
I mean,
it's just beats.
No, I mean, okay. Another one is like different types of pee in a survival situation. Could you be like, this type of pee, absolutely we're in trouble, versus that type of pee totally sucks. I mean, I don't know.
I think that's right. It's like I think you can drink your own urine 3 times. It's been a while since I've watched Bear Grylls, but I think it's 3 times. And then you could also measure that by like the colorness. Like as you get more and more orange, it's like, that's probably just fully waste pee now.
Yeah.
Gotta live.
So in summary, if they have that runway, I think we take several days, do ever escalating tests, and compare notes about
Dip your toes
poop and
in the
pee.
pool before you jump in there.
Yep.
And check your shit after. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Another question solved by us.
Solved.
Solved.
So this is the rebel group. They wanted to rotate the TIE fighter to, I don't know, shoot the other group. What? Let's watch. The units don't make sense to me.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
They're gonna turn
Trying
around.
to put us down the barrel. No. But can they do that? It moved. Another few centimeters. Hey, bit by bit.
That's a lot of bits.
50 centimeters an hour.
If they're lucky, they'll make 5 meters by midnight. They will be close.
Okay, real quick. Pretty cool. Pretty cool that centimeters survived as the length of the unit of length all the way deep into this galaxy that's far, far away.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. So they said it's 5 centimeters an hour. They're going to make 5 meters by midnight. So they must be 10 hours away. So what is?
Yeah, I
why
guess so.
isn't it an angle? They're rotating this thing, right? They're rotating the craft. Why isn't it angle? But I guess it must
centimeters
be,
would be a translation. It would be moving it sideways, not twisting it.
Yeah. So I had this pick over here, looking top down.
Drew pick. Hey, very nice. Very nice.
So the yellow is TIE fighter. The red is the circle that the TIE fighter would rotate around in. And the purple arrow is the velocity of the tip, which would be 5 centimeters an hour. Is that what's rotating up?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what they're saying. So if the center of the ship stays fairly stationary, they're going to use these ropes to pull it sideways, pull the wing sideways. And so that would be effectively, as you drew here, it would be pulling the wing to the side. Maybe it would be better if they pulled it a little bit more like to the left, not like 90 degrees is the maximum torque they could generate. They should be pulling across horizontally.
I see. The purple is for the velocity vector of the tip, which should be tangent to the circular motion, even though it's very, very slow. I think they're pulling. Well, okay. If we look at their pulling, they're pulling in the wrong spots.
They're pulling poorly. Yep.
There's one guy at the tip, but there's a lot of people pulling near the middle, which is ineffective.
Whew, gosh. Okay. So, how do I feel about this? So here's the tip of the wing, and here's the base, I guess, where it connects. And you really want to work the tip, because the tip is where you have this longest moment arm, and so that's how you get the most force. So it's like if I were to bend my finger by applying force at the tip, that's much easier for the force applying finger than if I were to try to bend my finger from down here. I can like push hard down at the base where it connects, but I need to use a lot of force to get the same amount of torque versus pushing at the tip.
Yeah.
So
if
these
you're at the
rebels,
tip, you're working that tip hard. You have a limited force because you're a single human body.
Yep.
So for that force, you have a maximum force you can exert. The highest torque would be at the tip.
At the tip. And so they should be standing over here somewhere, pulling the ropes. That's how they're going to generate the max torque, the max rotation force.
Right. In fact, they should be working all 8 tips.
That's right. They should connect 1, 2, 3, 4 strings here, and maybe if they can, 1, 2, 3, 4 strings on the back, and work the front. Work it from the front and the back, all the tips. That being said,
all the way.
This if you put a rope on the tip here and try to pull sideways, that puts the most stress on the wing.
Yep.
So you might get flexiness. It won't be as strong and hard all the way at the tip. So you may want to work the base, maybe.
Maybe 3/4 of the way up. Maybe where it's
3/4.
strong, but you sort of got this balance between strength
Right.
and torque.
Right.
If you go
I think
too
that's
far to the
accurate.
tip, it's flaccid. If you go too far to the base, you don't get any torque. So you go
Well, the base here, if you were to put ropes here and work the base, there's this additional moment arm. It's hard to see from this here. Oh, here we go. Here's the base of the wing. There's an additional moment arm here that you could apply a rope to before you get to the ball. And definitely, if you're pulling on the ball, there's no chance you're not going to rotate this, right? The cockpit, the ball here. So yeah, I guess they really should be working the tip. The 5 centimeters. What I
how do
figured
they measure the? Go ahead.
What I figured what they meant by 5 centimeters is if you were to like hang a plumb bob, hang like a rock from a string, and so it's sitting here, then they like pull, and then that plumb bob would move over by 5 centimeters. The plumb bob like a string hanging from a rock hanging from a string, and it really tells you like what's straight up and down. Whereas if you try to put a ruler, like the ruler may not be straight or whatever.
I mean, okay, that was my question, and you answered it. How are they measuring the centimeter movement? Because I don't see these guys aren't like, let's get a string with a plumb bob tied down to make sure we get an accurate measurement. Make sure the center doesn't slide so we get an accurate measurement of rotation. They're not doing any of this. Where are they getting these numbers from?
What if they're like 5 centimeters, like the base of the wing here has scratched the dirt and is moved by 5 centimeters? But actually 5 centimeters at this distance is a huge angle.
That's right. And but how could you tell the difference between that and a translation? Like if you're actually pulling on this thing, it could slide.
That's
and then
true.
You're misinterpreting a translation as a rotation, and you haven't moved it at all.
Yep.
It's amateur night.
So you're saying that every rebel squad, what is this guy doing?
Wait, where is he pulling? What is that?
He's got a pulley setup system. You got a pulley system over here.
Oh.
Start running that cable back and forth. Use some mechanical advantage. What are you doing?
There's no way he has a pulley ready to go. That's like wrapped around a tree, and the friction is just, he's doing nothing.
Friction doing nothing. So what we're saying here is that every rebel squad, just like any military squad, should have a couple sappers, a couple engineers walking around here thinking, how can we make this better?
Probably. Is that what they're called? Sappers?
I don't know. So I learned of goblin sappers from Warcraft. No, from Warcraft 2. And then at some point I looked it up, and I think sappers were like the military engineers that carried dynamite to blow up fortifications. I think they're just called combat engineers now, because you're not always sapping the defenses. Like you could be building a bridge or whatever, right? And also, I don't think they're attached with combat units. I think but they're not in the combat unit. They're attached to, they follow nearby. I'm not a military guy, but I think that's right.
Yeah, but they need something like that because they need some help.
Yeah, just a couple guys to hang out in the back and come up with solutions, figure things out.
Right.
I guess with the centimeters, like if they're saying that this thing has rotated a few centimeters every like hour or whatever, they could they're implying this moment arm here, which then you can do a arc length S equals R theta.
Right.
Kind of.
Yeah. Assuming it's rotating around the center, which might not be the case because the center doesn't actually. It doesn't come in contact with the ground. It's the tip. It's the underside of the wings.
Right.
That
they're not pulling horizontally here in the air. They're pulling it down and horizontally, which may make the far side lift a little bit.
Yep. So you sort of lift up onto an edge, and then you rotate around that. So the math might get tricky.
Yeah, agreed. These people are doing nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. Here's the best place. Work the tip.
Best place, yeah. Back at the Mothma estate. What's going on with Take-Homa? He's running into financial difficulties, I think.
You know, you've been having a difficult time. That's when we need to be heard.
I have called your office.
And I've been remiss. Last time we spoke, you told me you had new business coming in. You told me you were waiting.
I think I told you I was tired of waiting.
This is sounding serious.
It wasn't then. Might not be now. I still have several things pending. It's just I have concerns. The foundation is up and running. Your financial blemishes have been smoothed over without anyone being the wiser.
Wait. Financial blemishes? What is he referencing? I haven't seen Andor season 1 in a while. What was he saying?
So I think in season 1, Mon Mothma had looked at her finances and found discrepancies. And the discrepancies would not have withstood an audit. So she needed to fix those discrepancies, and she used Take Homa to do it. And now he seems to be running into financial difficulties. Somehow these financial things were papered over with this foundation, which I'm not sure how that works.
Oh, it's like a money laundering thing?
Yeah.
So like on paper, it looks like, oh, it's going to the foundation. Like that seems fine.
Sure.
And so Take Homa took the risk because he was like the person setting it up. And so people would be like, why did you do this, dude? I see.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Although Skulden obviously has what he came for. Everyone seems quite pleased with how they've landed. And I'm left wondering about the risk I've taken on.
I'm sorry, I feel terrible. I really had no idea.
Rebel activity soured my investments. You can see how I might feel undervalued.
Absolutely. How I wish you'd made this clear sooner.
Yeah, I should have. Perhaps I thought it was obvious.
Let me get through this weekend, and I promise we'll figure something out.
So I think from Take Homa's perspective, like he is attracted to Mon Mothma, and he thought they had a thing. They were like,
oh, you mean like romantically attracted?
Romantically.
Oh.
And she was leveraging that, I remember in season 1, to get his help being flirty and fun, and will they have an affair? Probably not, maybe. So then he stuck his neck out for her, and now when he's run into trouble, she's like, I'm not returning your calls. You don't even know that I'm in trouble. Was I played? Was I played? I think that's his perspective.
And he's like, other people got rich and I didn't. So what happened?
Right.
And without that you guys got rich, you're not worried about taking care of me, but I took care of you guys.
Right. And I took care of Mon Mothma because I was attracted to her, and I thought she might have an affair with me back. My wife has now left me, so I got nothing. And Mon Mothma is giving me the cold shoulder and not taking care of me. Like, what? I got played by the rebellion.
Played. Is the rebellion? Are they the good guys?
That's bad behavior. Take care of your guys. He stuck his neck out for you. Why are you take care of your guys?
Take care of your guy.
Perhaps I thought it was obvious.
Let me get through this weekend, and I promise we'll figure something out.
I've been chasing you all night.
I'm just stunned.
No warning.
Well, I suppose I have been avoiding him. Now I know why. Parents said he'd been carried home last night. His wife's left him.
Was there a number?
He said I'd get into it once we'd survived the wedding.
So nothing specific.
He's had some bad investments.
It's very troubling.
We'll find a number.
Is there any chance he'd go to Skulden?
No, you wouldn't dare. Helen's about to speak. I have to go.
Wait. Can't leave this be. You must know that.
We will find a number.
Okay. So what's this number? I'm assuming that's got to be a financial number, like a number of credits that they're just going to give to Take Homa to paper over his problems.
I think so. That was my interpretation. It's something like, so Take Homa wants money from them because he's like, you guys made a bunch of money and I didn't. What the heck? Why did I take all this risk and not make money? And so then, we're saying, well, how much money do we need to give Take Homa for him to be back on our side and be on our side? Because otherwise, Take Homa has a lot of leverage. He could report them to the Empire and they'd be toast.
That's right. So they're really exposed, and dialing in that number is very important because if it's too low, he's insulted. If it's he could come back for more. If it's too high, then it shows up. It becomes more risky, I guess, as the number gets too high. So you want to dial it in so it appeases him enough without being insulting. It's tough. That's a tough number to come up with.
Tough. You said it there really quickly. Is he could come back for more? Because if they give him, say, 1 million credits, what I pick a number, 1 million, he could come back later and be like, I still have this leverage over you. I want 5. You give him 5. He's like, well, I still have this leverage over you. I want 20. Like, it's a never-ending slip slide.
And Mon Mothma really Go ahead.
On the other hand, if he does increasing amount of risk and he's like, well, we made this a deal for 1 million. That's what you get, period, forever. Like, that's going to piss him off. Like,
Right.
there needs to be some ongoing negotiation. I think that's fair.
I think also Mon Mothma screwed up by not getting Take Homa on the rebellion side ideologically. She played him, it seems like, and then it sort of abandoned him. And so now he's getting maybe second thoughts about the rebellion, when before maybe there was an opportunity to get him ideologically committed, in which case sacrifice is not a problem. But
Yeah.
if you
Doing it for the cause.
if Skulden is running away with a bunch of riches and he's on the bad side, and Mon Mothma's played me, I'm saying I'm Take Homa, and her rebellion is moving forward and she's got power, I'm left high and dry. Why didn't I pick the bad side? I got screwed.
Could have picked the bad side.
So-
Yep.
I think Mon Mothma messed up bad.
Mon Mothma messed up. Clumsy maneuvering, Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
And at this party, this is like a wedding party for his daughter and the nearly neighboring son. They just got some rich people problems.
Trouble and disagreement will arrive without summons. There's no effort required. You simply stand still, and the galaxy will deliver a daily basket of fresh anxieties to your door. Trouble and...
Rich people. Okay, you can hear
What's wrong with this?
the left audio right at the end here. So her husband is like, even you young people, you're gonna have problems. Like, even if you live a quiet, good life, and they're like a rich society, like whatever, quiet, good life. Like, the galaxy is gonna deliver you problems. And listen to this left audio. Ready. You hear that? That's so true.
Door.
He gives a speech about how like the rich people are suffering from the galaxy, and like people in the audience like, that's so true. Yeah. Fuck rich people. You don't. Yes, people have problems. Even if you have money, you don't necessarily have happiness. Fuck these people. fuck these people so much.
Right. So they have problems.
Yeah,
that
sure.
Everybody has.
Everybody has them. Yep.
But at the same time, they're so wealthy.
So rich. Literally a servant in the background be like, oh yeah, you guys had the same problems as me.
Yeah, the servants standing around are like, sure.
Yep.
Although they might be so wealthy that even their servants are super wealthy. Like, they're just so wealthy.
Okay. But if the servants would be wealthy if they lived somewhere else. Like here in whatever their economy, like the cost of living may be high, so they're rich, but they're on paper, but they're super not.
Yeah. So relatively speaking, on this estate lands, they're poor. But if you transport their living and their financial situation to
like Tatooine,
they're like super wealthy.
The new king. Yeah, exactly. I just hate it. I hate this. And good job, audio engineer, being like, let's little slip in, like, oh, so true. Yeah, the world is really difficult. Like,
They not only that, like, they moved from Republic to Empire without skipping a beat. Like, how many problems do they have? Like, this
that's right.
Political upheaval did not affect them at all. Their finances are intact.
They're still ultra rich. They don't care who's in charge. They're still ultra rich. But they're like, oh, there's problems outside in the galaxy. Oh, I'm so stressed out about it. Like, your life didn't change.
Didn't change. You landed on your feet. Like, what the heck? But we got problems. There's so many problems. I have anxiety.
There are people outside in the galaxy suffering. I've never met them or even heard of them, but like I've heard of them online. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
What is this?
The Imperial nets.
Yeah. The Imperial nets. I've heard of people getting taken away. Like, never seen them.
So this is after Cassian escapes the forest gang. We see these two buildings, and that looks like Yavin 4.
I think so.
Cassian land on Yavin 4 prior to the base being set up? Is that what this is?
Yeah, so what are these? Are these ruins of an old civilization? I guess. I don't know. It looks like it to me.
I think so. Yeah. And then the rebellion made their base inside the ruins? Is this the reason? The fact that the TIE fighter is on Yavin 4, is that the reason that they built the base there? They're like, well, the TIE fighter's here. We need the intelligence. Let's build a base here. We can't get it off planet.
I think the TIE fighter leaves, though. The TIE fighter leaves and goes to
that's right.
to the farm planet, the grain planet. So it's
that's
so I don't know.
right.
I don't know the answer. So it could be the TIE fighter was delivered here because somewhere in this forest there's the rebel base. Could be. And then when Cassian's like, I'm escaping these rebel chuckle and I'm going to leave. And then he's like, I got to find my sister, right? I got to find Bix. And then, so there is a base here somewhere. It also could be that here the rebels are setting up a base now. And that's why the rebels in the forest are so amateur. Like it's just starting up.
Just starting up.
I don't know.
It's weird that Cassian would be told to land the TIE fighter near a base. You would want it to be landed. You went directly from the Imperial research base to Yavin 4 next to a rebel base. What if the Empire could track him? Now they found the base.
If I remember, Yavin 4 is like the command rebel base. Is that right?
Right.
It's been a while.
It is in episode 4.
Right.
But at this point, I don't think it is.
So really, you want Cassian to drop off the TIE fighter, the new TIE fighter, at some random rebel base
moon,
in the middle of nowhere, and then you do all the research, decompose it, try to recreate stuff, and then you just send the data, get it out there, so that way you don't expose where your home base is. Super dangerous.
I was even thinking like you could go to a random moon, switch pilots. Go to a second random moon, switch pilots. Go to third random moon, switch pilots. Then go to the research base to dismantle. And like if it was ever tracked,
at least make it hard.
Like make it hard. Like put some buffers in there. So I guess it is Yavin 4. It ends up being Yavin 4. Kind of weird.
I think so. I mean, it looks like. I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that is Yavin 4. Yeah. Gosh. I had these thoughts when watching it where it's like the rebels are struggling with immigration and farm work, and they go, and the rich people from the Republic who have landed on their feet on the transition to the Empire, they're doing real well. I mean, really, in the middle of this picture, there's 2 Imperial officers with Imperial uniforms. If this was the Republic, those 2 people would be Republic officers in Republic uniforms. And that's kind of the only difference.
Everyone else here is still living their awesome rich life. These people changed their uniforms. Everyone else is fine. Like, sure.
Everyone's fine. So it would be hard for me to not join the Empire if I'm in this situation. It's even worse because Deirdre, she's like, I don't know, she's an impoverished person. I think it's one more over.
Yeah, Deirdre.
Deidre, they're doing real well, and they're just like people coming from poverty, rising up through the ranks of the Empire. They're getting taken care of big time.
That's right.
It would be hard for me to be like, I don't want to be part of the Empire. I've got a house, I've got, stuff I got a good job. Like,
I mean, she's got a pretty awesome apartment. I don't know if she owns it or if it's an apartment or if it's rental. I don't know, but look at it. This is awesome.
And I'm supposed to be
like
on the
a well-functioning empire. Right. Why would I be on the rebel side? This is great.
It would just be if I heard about atrocities happening on the Outer Rim or something, I'm just going to ignore it. I do that today. There's atrocities around the world, and
that's true.
It because
because
I'm trying to live my life.
Yeah,
I'm going to do that in the Empire. It would be hard to be like, I'm hearing about atrocities on the Imperial net in a faraway land. It's not connected to me. Therefore, I must upend my life and join the rebellion. That'd be hard.
I must take down all of these people in this society with clearly functioning society because people on the Outer Rim are complaining. Okay.
That'd be hard.
It'd be very difficult.
It's a functioning society. People are getting taken care of. The rich are doing well.
Clearly, prosperity, clearly happening.
Yeah.
Like, what part of this tells me broken society?
There must be an underbelly
for these
but
people up
we
here.
Haven't seen it. Yeah.
We saw a little bit in season 1 where the people on the downside in the Coruscant, there's not as nice. But for the people that are doing well in society, like Deidre isn't even super high official, right?
Right.
She's like middle level, but doing great.
Yep, they're doing great. And Cyril and his mother sort of live down in the mid section of Coruscant. It's still like clean. There's no crime.
Yeah.
They're doing okay.
Well lit. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be
Is the
hard to
Empire bad?
join the rebellion.
I wouldn't see the signs. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, the Empire is clearly bad. I'd be like, well, we seem to be doing well. We seem to be, working as a team, putting in this effort for society, and it's going great.
And for most people, how much did life change when the Republic changed to the Empire? I think for the vast majority of people, nothing changed.
Different orders from different people on the top, whatever.
Right. Rich people doing rich people things, changing hands up there, Jedi doing some stuff.
Actually,
but for me,
same orders from different people at the top. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. It would be hard to join the rebellion.
Yeah.
It would be hard.
Cool, that's it.
And that's it. That's season 2, episode 2. See you guys next time.
Andor.